This video is going to be about Will Smith's apology. Give a shit about his apology. He fucking assaulted. On the bright side, at least Chris Rock got a fucking apology from his abuser. So what are we teaching people, huh? It's okay to assault people. It's okay to hurt people. And if you say you're sorry, it makes it all go away. No. Fuck you, Will Smith. I'm going to read his apology letter. If I can find it. Well, I guess, actually, that's not going to work because I did not bring my keyboard. Christ. There are people in America who go through real abuse. Real abuse. You know, playing it off, oh, it's a medical condition. Jesus fuck, she's bald. Yeah, I'm bald too. I get that there's a medical fucking name for it. But at the same time, it was a good goddamn joke. It wasn't something that was said or meant in a mean-hearted or malicious way, which is a far cry from what I've been dealing with. You know, there were 2 more Natalie Bollinger things up on YouTube just in the last 10 days. One in French, and of course, one from the Philippines. I've been using Google Translate to try to read what people are typing in there, and of course, reply to them and let them know that, hey, why don't you ask to see the truth? Why don't you ask to see the evidence? A lot of people, they talk about how entertaining and great it is. One woman was so sick in the head, she talked about how relaxing it was. How the fuck? How the fuck is hearing somebody talking about my dead loved ones and the slander that I continue to be assaulted over? Yeah, it's relaxing, isn't it? You fucking sick shit. Who the hell finds that? See you tomorrow. Who I am in real life is different from who I have to be on the internet. I take the abuse in real life. On the internet, yeah, no, I don't have to worry about the people who want to type mean shit at me. It's the people who hear these web sleuth shows, and of course, none of them want to show my side. None of them want to show evidence. They just want to repeat the same slander. I was prevented from going to my court dates. I was prevented from showing evidence. When you're called mentally ill in the United States, you have no fucking rights. We got black people complaining about how they're the most marginalized people in the country. You fucking liars. We got Native Americans talking about how they're the most marginalized people in the country. You fucking liars. We got women talking about how they're the most marginalized people in the country. You fucking liars. The statistics show different. Americans hate the homeless. They hate the disabled. The difference between the United States and Nazi Germany is that the United States of America profits off of the people that they hate by incarcerating them or giving their buddies massive quantities of money to drug the shit out of us. anything they can do to discredit us, so we're not human beings. That's why we need someone to speak up for us. You know, I am so pissed off at the people in my life, the ones who claimed that they were gonna, because they never did. Then again, they weren't going through the abuse, were they? A lot of people ran away because people were abusing them. People were threatening them and their kids. And then they treat me like shit for exposing it. I get to hear a lot about things that you guys don't care the truth about. You just want to twist it into something that it's not. Like people claiming that I fleeced a bunch of people out of money with GoFundMe. I never saw a single penny. It wasn't my GoFundMe. Neither of them were. The one I was finally able to make, nobody donated a damn penny to it. The other two, when that money would have made a difference, when it could have helped me, and people did donate, it was Candace Bondurant and Carl Rogers who fleeced you guys out of the money you sent. I never saw a penny. Candace Bondurant had done what she did before, where she outright lies to me, stabs me in the back. We stopped being friends before Natalie was killed. Matter of fact, we stopped being friends while I was in Virginia in 2016 visiting Natalie. But let's get on to this. We can find Will Smith stuff here, can't we? We're pretty well educated on Facebook. We know how to use this algorithm, don't we? Ah, here it is. Will Smith wrote this, apparently. Violence in all its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. It actually is excusable, but not under these circumstances. You have to make amends. An apology is not good enough in this situation. It's not. What you learn there is that it's okay to assault somebody, and that afterwards, if they say sorry, then everything is fine. No, you do not get to say sorry and think it's all right. You don't. It says jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical, she's fucking bald. Medical condition. If you try to twist it into something that it's not, then fuck that. She's bald, okay? I'm bald. What she has is baldness. That's what it means. It means hair loss. Hair loss. This is not something that's going to kill her. It says, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear, and I reacted emotionally. You know what? What a fucking coward. What a coward. The abuse that I have taken is far worse than what Jada does. The abuse that I endure is far worse than what Will Smith did, because I've been through 6 years of it, no apology, and no end to it. I needed help. I didn't get that help. My predators all had help. All of them had roofs over their heads and people in person to help them. They all had resources, and mine were taken away. But you don't care about me because I'm not a rich man. I'm not a black man. I'm not a woman. And I'm not pretty. You know why Adolf Hitler got away with the things that he did? Because the German people looked away or made excuses. With all the propaganda that Adolf Hitler was pushing out there, oh shit, there's still Nazi Germans pushing out that propaganda, pushing it out about me. Will Smith did react emotionally. He thought it was funny as fuck. Jada can't take a fucking joke. She can shove it up her ass. Will Smith's emotional reaction was because he felt demasculated. I don't give a fuck if you feel demasculated. See, that's the problem. That is toxic masculinity. Begging for help is not toxic masculinity. Showing the truth is not toxic masculinity. Cursing when I wasn't heard when I asked nicely. Yelling when I wasn't heard when I asked nicely. This is not toxic masculinity. People are dead. And it's your fault. It is your fault. Because you make your decisions based on bias. You don't care about the truth. With Will Smith, it's cut and dry. He did it on national television. With me, I had to get the body cameras, and I wasn't going to get them without help, but I didn't have help. I had empty words, empty promises. It says here, I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. Now this is getting better. He was wrong. At least he admits it. It says, I am embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. I'm not embarrassed. That's not a choice. I don't have that emotion. It does not exist within me. I am incapable of being embarrassed. That's why, while other men are afraid to speak out about being raped and molested, I'm not. But how do I get treated for speaking out about that? I get treated in exactly the way that these men are afraid of being treated. And when they see me speaking up and see how I am treated, it reinforces the truth. The truth of the matter is, you victimize the victims. Women in this country are the worst offenders at that. Not only will they go out of their way to destroy a male victim's life, they'll get their friends and family involved. And then, of course, when you've got 10 people that all beat you up at the same time and you're by yourself, it's your word versus theirs. This whole time I have needed somebody in my corner, not somebody to plop me somewhere and forget me. Not somebody to make empty promises until my fucking resources are gone. Not somebody to get drunk and screwed up on meth and abuse the shit out of me. That's not help. Will Smith can buy his way out of jail if he's arrested. If they arrest him and they give him a $2 million bail, he'll be out in a fucking hour. When you're homeless, you don't get that. And because of that, you have to try to utilize what's in the jail that you're allowed to have access to. But you're not allowed access to it. They sell that to the American public because you're idiots. You're fucking stupid enough to believe anything they fucking tell you. Of course, with all these other countries making these Natalie Bollinger bullshits, it's obvious that the whole world is fucked. There is nothing on this planet worth saving. Hopefully, the next strain of COVID kills all of us. I do mean that. I really do. The dead don't suffer. The dead don't hurt people. The dead don't spread slander. The dead don't assault people. They don't shoot people. The most evil people on the planet become good people when they're dead. Sure, they're not going to help you, but they're never going to hurt you. Of all the places that I've slept in my lifetime, the most peaceful is a graveyard. A lot of y'all are afraid of graveyards at night. I'm not. You know why? I know that nobody there is going to hurt me. They got sheriff patrols and stuff that go through the graveyards at night, so you gotta pick the right spot. Usually there's a cabana building. It's basically a small building that they use to manage the sprinkler systems. Sleep on the other side of those in between that cabana building, and there's usually a row of trees around the cabana building. Not always, but even if there's not, it's usually at the edge of town or a ways out of town. So if you're on the other side of that building, there's not usually a road on the other side, and the cop's not likely to get out of his vehicle. Let's continue reading this about Will Smith. He typed, I am embarrassed of my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. You know what? I was the man I wanted to be. Before I hurt my back, I was the hero that I needed as a kid. When I hurt my back and I needed help, it didn't matter how many people I'd helped, and it's in the hundreds. There's hundreds of people in Chapel, Nebraska alone that I've helped out over the years, but they all forgot about me when Natalie was killed. They didn't care to speak up. Natalie was not my first rescue. She was not my last rescue. The man that I have to be is different. The man that Will Smith chose to be, he went for violence first. I've been repeatedly assaulted, but nobody cares. None of my supposed loved ones actually loved me. They proved it. Rather than look at what I'm going through, they wanted to assume that it was all over when Natalie Bollinger was killed. But if you look up Natalie Bollinger's name, you'll realize that this is not just across America, this is across the world. Across the world for 6 years, they've been slandering my name. None of these places have bothered to show the truth. If you're not showing both sides, you're not showing the truth. If you're taking slander as if it's written by the hand of God and etched in stone, you're a fucking idiot, and your decision making abilities and internet access should be revoked. People are dead. A lot of people are dead. Look up Clearview Behavioral Health. I told on them before they killed people. Look up Waylon Lolatai. I told on him before he harmed a lot of other people. It says, Will Smith also wrote, there is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness. Well, unfortunately, Will Smith, we're not all pampered rich bitches like you who get to live in a world of love and kindness. We don't live in a world of love and kindness. The way that I have been treated is not loving and kind. The way that my supposed friends have treated me, that's not loving and kind, it is violent. Y'all didn't care about the slander against me. You thought I could just let it go. But my predators cared about that slander. I'm talking about before Natalie was killed. They cared enough to harass me on the internet in real life. They cared enough to assault me in real life. But you don't care, do you? Because it's not happening to you. You only care about rich bitches like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. You killed my friends, people. This slander got people killed. This defamation of character got people killed. The abuse that I had to go through for over a year before Natalie was killed. I was trying to get help stopping it. I jumped through every hoop that I was told I had to jump through in order to get the help stopping it, and guess what? That help that I tried to get before Natalie was killed, that was supposed to help me to stop this, was used to prevent me from showing the truth, to prevent me from being heard, to prevent me from showing evidence. Y'all are evil people, all of you. Anyone who can turn a blind eye to what's happened to me, anybody who can go out of their way not to look at evidence, you're not a good person. And that's what makes every single one of my supposed friends, well, horrible people. It's okay to make mistakes as long as you learn from them and admit them. But junkies don't admit to their mistakes. Their drugs are more important. When I was in Virginia and it became painfully obvious that the drugs were more important than the truth, I left. We don't live in a world of love and kindness, Will. You could do something about that. You could fight for the rights of those of us who are going through actual hell. You smacked a man on national TV during a fucking awards show. That's a drop in the fucking lake compared to what I've gone through. People say, oh, well, you have no idea what Will Smith is going through. He had his personal business all over the internet, all over TV. You gonna tell me that I don't know what that's like? At least what was said about him was true. At least his friends and family were not fucking murdered over this. Your apology doesn't do shit. A lot of people are dead. It says, I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. Well, I didn't watch it around the world. I just got to see the memes afterwards. And of course, the fact that that one little part of the show is all over the internet, so you get to watch that one little part. It says, I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard's family. I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress. Sincerely, Will. It's nice that he's privileged enough that he can have that stance, that he can type those pretty words, but they're bullshit. It's nice that he has the privilege to assault someone on national television over a joke. You got no idea the hell that I've gone through. Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, even Chris Rock, got nothing on me. Put them all together, they got nothing on me. Take away all their friends, they'll just buy more. My next video is going to be about the Jepson family in Chapel, Nebraska. People that I love very much. I'm going to be telling you some secrets about them that you're going to be able to look up yourself and realize they're not so secret. Just because I love somebody doesn't mean they don't do terrible things. That's the lesson with Natalie. That's the lesson with the Jepsons, both families. That's the lesson with Jamie Curtis. It's the lesson with my own family and even my friends. They're not perfect. But they harm me for not being perfect. I got plenty of apologies to give. But when I apologize, it means that I'm done, and I'm not done. I'm not done spreading the truth. You can come forward and tell the truth, or I can show it. It's up to you. If you come forward on your own, there's no need to apologize to you, is there? There's reason for thanks. But if I have to expose it, you're not getting a sorry from me because you're forcing me to do that. Only the truth will stop this abuse. But you can't expect the truth out of drug dealers like Todd Ryan Case of Boulder, Colorado. You can't expect the truth out of druggies like Natalie Bollinger, Alicia Bollinger, Maddie Boa. You can't expect truth out of alcoholics. Addicts are the most selfish people on the planet. I said that I was willing to, or was capable of doing things people's parents couldn't do to protect their children, and I've proven it. I was even put in prison for crimes I didn't commit. Prison. I wasn't even convicted. A lot of people talk about whether or not that Craigslist post with Natalie was real. It was. William Barr verified it. Matter of fact, according to him, she had to repost it more than once. It was taken down. William Barr is one of the predators who helped put me in prison because I was trying to turn him in. Same thing with Sheriff Scott DaCosta and Nebraska registered sex offender Robert Warnick. ROBERTWARNICK. Look it up for yourself. And of course, Robert Warnick's friend who works for Sheriff Scott DaCosta, Leslie Snell. Please help me get assisted suicide legal. We're not all as privileged as Will Smith. We're not all as privileged as Jada Pinkett Smith. We're not all as privileged as Chris Rock. You want to tell me they can't be privileged because of the color of your skin? You're out of your fucking mind.